The global technology landscape is being reshaped by strategic power plays. At the heart of this lies the critical semiconductor industry. The U.S. has spearheaded new export restrictions. These measures target key players in the chip manufacturing ecosystem. ASML and TSMC find themselves in the crosshairs. The curbs limit China's access to advanced semiconductor technology. Washington argues these measures are necessary for national security. They aim to prevent Beijing from leveraging cutting-edge chips for military modernization. For ASML, this means tighter controls on selling its DUV lithography machines. TSMC faces constraints impacting its ability to produce advanced chips for Chinese clients. The Foreign Direct Product Rule is a potent tool. It allows the U.S. to control exports of items made overseas with American technology. This rule extends the reach of U.S. export controls. The immediate effect is uncertainty and disruption. Companies must reassess their strategies, investments, and market exposures. The repercussions will be felt worldwide. ASML, Europe's most valuable tech firm, is in a tough spot. It holds a near monopoly on complex lithography machines essential for advanced microchips. US-led export curbs pressure the Dutch government, impacting ASML's China market. China is a significant revenue source. The Dutch government is caught between the US and its economic interests. Plans may prevent ASML from servicing DUV machines sold to China. ASML is already barred from selling its advanced EUV machines to China. Tightening rules on DUV tech further squeezes China's semiconductor ambitions. ASML's leadership has spoken out. CEO Christophe Fouquet highlights US pressure on allies. Losing the Chinese market could have severe economic consequences. Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof is assessing the impact on ASML. ASML must balance compliance with sustaining its business and innovation. China is not standing idly by in the face of these mounting restrictions. Beijing has made it abundantly clear that it views technological self-sufficiency as a paramount national priority. In response to the US-led export controls, China is mobilizing vast resources. It is funneling tens of billions of dollars into its domestic semiconductor industry. The goal is ambitious: to reduce reliance on foreign technology and to build a resilient, indigenous chip ecosystem. The Chinese government's strategy involves significant financial subsidies for domestic chip makers, research institutions, and equipment manufacturers. Companies like SMIC and Huawei are at the forefront of this national drive. Beyond massive investment, Beijing has also signaled its willingness to employ retaliatory measures. The state-backed Global Times issued a stark warning that ASML could risk losing access to the lucrative Chinese market permanently. Beijing has also hinted at broader policy-related actions. The overarching aim is clear: to insulate China's technological development from external pressures. This quest for semiconductor sovereignty is transforming the global industry landscape. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC, occupies an almost mythical status in the world of technology. It is the foundry that manufactures an astonishing 90% of the world's most advanced chips. This makes it an indispensable linchpin in the global electronics supply chain. However, its critical role and its geographical location in Taiwan place it squarely in the vortex of the US-China chip war. The recent US-led restrictions create complex challenges and subtle opportunities for TSMC. Some analysts have positioned TSMC as a potential winner in certain aspects of this conflict. It faces no direct tariffs from China, largely because Beijing's official stance is that Taiwan is part of its own territory. However, this position is not without its perils. The company is under intense scrutiny from all sides, particularly from Beijing. TSMC is also responding to global pressures to diversify its manufacturing footprint. The company has announced plans to invest $100 billion to establish chip production facilities in the United States. This strategic diversification further complicates TSMC's relationship with mainland China. TSMC's ability to navigate these turbulent waters will be crucial not only for its own future but for the stability of the entire global technology sector. The escalating chip war between the United States and China is sending shockwaves far beyond their respective borders. The implications for the global semiconductor industry are profound and multifaceted. What began as a targeted effort to curb China's technological ambitions is now catalyzing a broader realignment of global supply chains. The European Union, for instance, is acutely aware of its vulnerabilities. The EU has launched its own CHIPS Act, aiming to mobilize substantial public and private investment to double its share of the global semiconductor market by 2030. Similarly, Japan is also taking steps to revitalize its manufacturing base. The pressure is not just on nations, but also intensely on companies. US-based chip equipment makers are expressing growing concern about the potential for even more stringent export controls. This creates a chilling effect on international collaboration and investment flows. Despite these considerable challenges, the market has shown some resilience. As of April 2025, the stock prices of key players like Nvidia, TSMC, ASML, and Intel had seen recent increases. The underlying trend is towards a more balkanized technological world, reshaping the foundations of global innovation for decades to come. The trajectory of the chip war will be significantly influenced by the policy choices made in Washington. The United States has been employing trade restrictions and sanctions as key instruments of its foreign and economic policy. These measures were largely continued and, in some areas, intensified under President Biden. The focus on semiconductors as a critical strategic battleground has only sharpened. The potential for future escalation looms large, particularly with the shifting political landscape in the United States. Should former President Donald Trump return to office, there are strong indications that he would seek to intensify the trade conflict with China. Specifically concerning semiconductors, Trump has previously proposed imposing tariffs on chips imported from Taiwan. Furthermore, Trump has been critical of the CHIPS and Science Act. Instead of direct support, Trump has floated the idea of imposing tariffs on all chips entering the United States. The Biden administration has also considered further tightening the screws. One powerful tool under consideration has been the broader application of the Foreign Direct Product Rule. The overarching objective remains to construct a coalition that can effectively limit China's ability to leapfrog the West in critical future technologies. Predicting the precise endgame of the ongoing chip war is a formidable task. The situation is fluid, with numerous variables at play. However, several potential scenarios and trends are beginning to emerge. One distinct possibility is a continued escalation of restrictions and counter-restrictions. In this scenario, we might see the rise of distinct technological blocks. Another scenario involves a gradual, uneasy détente. This might occur if the economic costs of the chip war become too burdensome for all parties involved. The deep-seated mistrust and the fundamental clash of interests between the US and China over technological leadership make a comprehensive and lasting resolution seem unlikely in the near term. The role of other nations and blocs will be crucial in shaping the future. Efforts to build indigenous capabilities could either contribute to global resilience or exacerbate fragmentation. The challenge will be to foster innovation and security without completely dismantling the benefits of global collaboration. Navigating this complex terrain will require deft diplomacy, strategic foresight, and a recognition that in an interconnected world, purely zero-sum outcomes are rarely sustainable or desirable for global stability.